Okay, hello everyone. I'm looking at the internet meltdown over Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey, and it's making me realize just how broken our collective psychology has become. People are losing their mind because Zendaya is cast as the goddess Athena. Elliot Page, who I dislike by the way, but that's a different video, is on the roster, and Lupita Nyong'o, I guess her name, I don't know how to spell it, sorry. Anyway, a black woman is playing Helen of Troy, a character explicitly written as the literal standard of supreme beauty in women. The immediate internet reaction was, it's all forced corporate diversity because the Oscars blah blah blah. By the way, I forgot to mention Travis Scott. How could I? Well, there is no way to defend this. To be honest, I mean, it's a bad choice, objectively bad choice, okay? Anyway, when I stepped back from the outrage and stopped consuming it, I realized something important. The title of this video is The Winner Takes It All because whoever controls the visual imagery we ingest every day completely wins the war over what our brain defines as normal, prestigious, or human, or monkey. You thought I was going to use that one, right? Because it's very normal to use it nowadays. It's even funny to some people. Let's be completely real about how conditioning works. Starting with my own experience, I'm going to share some personal things and thoughts with you guys. I live in the Middle East, okay? If you ask a random person from Europe or the West in general what they think about my culture, there is a good chance they will instantly tell you we are backward pedophiles who openly marry children and live in the desert. But living here all my life, I have never seen it happen a single time. I have never seen a desert in my life, okay? And I am a very social, trust me. I know you probably think YouTubers live in their mother's basement, and I do actually, you know. Actually, the reason I'm not wearing a shirt because it's super hot in here, okay? But that being said, I'm still quite social, okay? The overwhelming public, especially among my generation, completely despise it. Does it exist? Yes, but in isolated places, villages and small rural areas, okay? No one goes there, okay? But a tiny percentage of people. But external media loops hyper focus on that 0.1%, 0.001% until outsiders genuinely believe it's our entire identity, okay? We turn around and do the exact same thing to other places. I will admit it, okay? When someone mentions India, the first immediate thing that comes to mind is garbage built everywhere, okay? Horrible public hygiene and people racing to the train and people shitting in the streets and people eating cow shit. That's too specific, I know, but that's what I think, okay? I'm not here to sugarcoat things or coddle anyone. I believe the general public culture of India sucks. I don't believe I'm obligated to respect anyone's culture just because, okay, you know? If a culture actively encourages harmful things like child marriages, eating cow shit, or shitting in public places, I support making fun of it, okay? You don't have to respect harm cultures. But here is where the math forces me to check my own bias. India has over 1.4 billion people. The top 5% of their population, the peak intelligent people, elite engineers, and ultra capable creators, the people you see online that help you in your math exam or programming or whatever, okay, amounts to roughly 70 million human beings. That is a population larger than the entire United Kingdom or France, you know? Imagine that. There are tens of millions of Indians who are better than you and me in absolutely every single life metric imaginable. But if I see one of them in the street, I will probably look down at him because my brain has been subjected to so many stuff online that I cannot but see him as a lower class peasant. And even looking at the rest, there is undeniably a massive percentage of people who act like absolute NPCs, okay? I'm not denying that, doing things we find completely repulsive online. But no matter how many hundreds of shocking videos you and I scroll past on social media, I don't know why I wrap that. Anyway, those clips don't even represent 0.1 of the actual population. They are 1.4 billion. Can you imagine that? We forget that countries aren't monoliths, okay? In my own country, we have only 10 million people, and I can swear to you that every single city has a completely distinct subculture, you know, different traditions and entirely separate mindsets. Yet because of repeated algorithm exposure, our brains take a fractional reality and paint an entire subcontinent with a single ugly brush. This way, we unfairly treat good and well-mannered people because another person from their country is a subhuman, okay? Imagine if you were treated horribly everywhere you go just because some idiots in your countries decide to act like idiots, you know? How would that make you feel? Also, most of my viewers are from the US or Europe or Australia, okay? You guys are not as racist as you think you are, okay? If you come here as Indian in the Middle East, okay, chances are people will look at you like a servant, a literal servant. You are just meant to serve the rich people. That's it, okay? Like in my culture, when we want to insult someone, we call him Hindi. In Arabic, it means Indian. You are Indian. It's an insult to someone. You understand that, okay? Maybe because, okay, only the poor working class comes here to work, okay, and I don't have a problem with that, but that plays a role, of course. But I'm just saying that we literally use that word as an insult. So even if a well-behaved Indian came here, and they are a lot, I'm not saying they are like this very rare thing, like a white sheep in a pack full of black sheep, even that sounds racist, holy. This video is gonna get removed 100%. That being said, if like a group of people has a bad culture, okay, you're allowed to make fun of it. I do it all the time. Like in my country, okay, when someone dies, the family of this person must feed the people, no matter what, the people that come to pay visit, to pay respect, okay? Culturally forced to do so. And I'm not talking about some coffee or water or simple snacks. No, I mean a full-scale feast with huge amounts of rice, meat, and jamid, okay, like yogurt, okay, to hundreds and hundreds of people, which is very expensive, especially in my country where the economy is dog shit. From the day the country was made, it's dog shit, okay? Many people go on and take loans from the banks to afford it. Can you imagine that? Because if they didn't do that, people will start talking about them, about how they don't respect their guests and how stingy they are. Imagine your father or mom dies, hope not, I hope they live forever, okay? And you are in tears and pain, and alongside that, you have to pay for hundreds and hundreds of people to feed them, to the point you go and take a loan from the bank. That is the definition of harmful traditions that you and I should not respect. I need to finish this party quickly because it's getting extremely hot in here, okay? And stupid me is drinking hot coffee. I don't know why. Anyway, to get back to the point of the video, which I kind of forgot by the way, like we were just talking about my culture and food for some reason. Anyway, this is about the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's film. I'm gonna share one last example, maybe a bit disturbing about me, okay? So please don't judge. This was literally years ago, okay? When I first watched House of the Dragons trailer and saw black actors being casted as ancient, elite Valerians, I genuinely disliked it. It felt jarring, okay? But as I kept watching, something shifted. Seeing Lord Corlys Valerian command the screen with absolute majesty didn't break the fantasy. It rewired my mind, okay? It forced an image into my head showing that black people can be portrayed as deeply prestigious, powerful, and elite. Yeah, well, but George R. Martin has written them as white people in the books, man. Okay, so fucking what? It's not like God himself has written them that way, okay? Me and you both know it's not about this, but because we don't want a black person to take one of the most important characters. Like, we are fine with a black actor acting a comedic character, okay? Hell, we even like it. But like, not the most powerful lord and one of the elites like Corlys Valerian, okay? Like, know your places, black people. I swear to God, I was posting about it 24/7 and ranting about it to my friends, and I used to justify it by saying George R. Martin wrote them that way, that they must be white and have silver hair, okay? When in reality, I was racist. Okay, to defend myself a little bit, I wasn't completely racist, okay? But I just felt connected to white actors a lot more than black actors, okay? And the Twitter narrative and seeing people on my side strengthened my vision even more. So rather than the constant stream of negative street or crime stereotypes fed to us by the internet, I actually realized how foolish I was. I mean, I already knew they are not bad people, and it's not something in genetics, okay? Did not reach that level, thanks God. I just thought to myself that most black people act like this, so if I ever go to USA or Europe, I will avoid them at any cost. See how stupid my points were? I mean, looking back at it now, it's completely stupid, but that's how propaganda works, guys. If you are interested in this subject, go read more about it, okay? You will find some really disturbing things. So if we stop showing the prestigious, the beautiful, or the brilliant versions of different identities on screen, the toxic ideas already planted in our heads by raw social media exposure will grow until they take over entirely, okay? That's how wars begin, literally, between races. Now, do directors and producers take this way too far sometimes? Absolutely, okay? There is a massive difference between artistic reimagining and lazy narrative-breaking casting choices, like Netflix casting a black actress as a Cleopatra in a literal historical documentary, Or Disney casting Rachel Ziegler, I think her name, in Snow White live figure when the character is literally supposed to be white as snow. That's the definition of the character, okay? Instead of writing a new original story with diversity and all, they force some things down our throats. We hate these things because it doesn't add any weight to the story. Hell, it makes it even worse. It's like making a movie about Nelson Mandela and casting this guy, okay? Everyone would absolutely hate it, even white people. But what the Christopher Nolan is doing with the Odyssey isn't corporate box ticking. He's an artist using the absolute peak power of cinema to actively balance the scale, okay? Don't let reactionary internet haters convince you that seeing different identities in momental roles is a disease. It's not disease, guys. Whoever dictates the imagery dictates the culture, and in that battle, the winner takes it all. Just a disclaimer, by the way, this video is about races in general, like white people, black people, Indian people, Russian people, Chinese people, not about whatever this is, okay? And I have to wear a t-shirt because it got really sweaty. Like my back literally got connected, got merged, okay, into this pillow. So I'm done. Thanks God.